Hello and welcome. My name is Angelica Bravo Gonzalez, and this is part 1 of my critical creative reflection. I am candidate A025. Question 1 is, how does my product use or challenge magazine conventions? My magazine is a culinary magazine. The title is Flavors of Venezuela, and my cover beautifully showcases the arepa, a beloved Venezuelan staple that truly represents the heart of the country's culinary culture. The close-up shot allows the viewer to appreciate the texture and warmth of the arepa, inviting them to imagine the delicious flavors that lie within. Unlike many other food magazines that often opt for elaboration and style photography, this cover takes a more authentic approach, emphasizing the simplicity and comfort that arepas bring to the table. The accompanying cover lines, such as Discover Venezuela's hidden culinary gems and From Arepas to Dulces, a Venezuelan feast, further highlight the rich tapestry of flavors and traditions that Venezuelan food offers. Its Creamer magazine aims to not only provide recipes, but also to tell the stories behind each dish, making it a perfect guide for anyone looking to try new foods from a different culture, or try new food in general, and also to explore the vibrant culinary landscape of Venezuela. As for my inspiration, I took inspiration from a few French baking magazines. Although they're from a whole different genre, they still have to do with food. And as you can see, they have a close-up of what food they're going to use to appeal their viewers. So for my magazine cover, I decided to add a close-up of a arepa. I also like that the one that says French baking and the one that says bake from scratch have a lot of cover lines. So in my magazine, I added that as well. I added a few cover lines on the left side, just as these magazines did as well. The only difference was that I didn't add a bunch of words as they did on theirs. I tried to make it simple and pretty organized. And I also like that they had the French flag. I really liked that a lot, and I added that in my magazine as well. On the upper left and the right corner, I did the Venezuelan flag. As for the one on the very left, the magazine that says delicious, it looks completely different from the one in the middle and the one on the right because it's from a whole different company. But what I liked about this magazine was the colors that it used for the cover, which was red, white, and blue. This was added because the French flag has blue, white, and red. So when I decided to do my color palette for my Venezuelan cover, I decided to add the colors of the Venezuelan flag, which is red, blue, yellow, and a little bit of white because of the stars on the flag. I took this inspiration from Delicious, from the magazine that says Delicious, and the Venezuelan flags on the upper corners were added because I saw that these magazines had that, and I really liked that about it. As for my table of contents, it uses a conventional format listing chapter titles and page numbers. However, it challenges conventions by focusing on a specific niche cuisine, which is Venezuelan food. This is not commonly featured in mainstream culinary magazines. This choice represents a specific social group, which is Venezuelan people and their culture, showcasing their culinary traditions and heritage. The inclusion of recipes for beginners suggests an attempt to make this cuisine accessible to a wider audience, potentially bridging cultural gaps and fostering understanding. I used images to add visual appeal. This was because when I researched other table content, I saw that some of them had images added onto their table content as well. The difference between the ones I featured in this TCR was that I added page numbers inside my images. This was because when I researched magazines, when I looked through magazines in person and I looked at some of their table contents, they had images, but they also added page numbers. So if this was a real magazine to be published, I would like my audience to know, oh, they get to see, the images, but they also get to see where those images are featured and where those images are talked about inside my magazine. This also enhances engagement and makes the content more inviting. The social issue addressed is the promotion and preservation of Venezuelan culinary heritage, and the table of contents effectively communicates the book's content and its unique focus on a specific culture's food. Also, another thing I added was the background of the table of contents being yellow. This was chosen for its vibrant and cheerful connotations. When most people think of yellow, they often think of warmth, happiness, and positivity, making it an inviting choice for readers. In the context of a magazine focused on Venezuelan food, yellow can also evoke feelings of sunshine and the rich tropical nature of the country. This color helps to create a sense of excitement and enthusiasm for exploring the culinary delights within the book, encouraging readers to dive into the recipes and experience the flavors of Venezuela. Overall, the use of yellow not only enhances the visual appeal but also aligns with the joyful essence of sharing food and culture. Additionally, my two-page spread is all about arepas. I really wanted to focus on creating a visually appealing layout that tells a story. I divided it into sections, like ingredients, instructions, and the historical roots of arepas, which makes it super easy to follow. I made sure to use high-quality images that show the arepas at different stages, so readers can really get a feel for the cooking process. I also added different arepa photos, so the audience knows that, arepas, they can have anything in them. The arepa behind the title that says Arepas, a Culinary Journey has meat and eggs. But then when you look at the right side of my two-page spread, there's a photo with like 4 arepas, and they all have different filling. So I would like my readers to know that arepas can have, anything in them. Unlike other culinary magazines, I also added a little history about arepas because I wanted to add depth and context instead of just having all the text on one side. I spread it out to keep things engaging. I think this layout really helps to draw readers in and makes them more excited to try making arepas themselves. Also because I wanted, my audience to know why do Venezuelans, find arepas so special, and why is this such a big food in Venezuela? I wanted them to know the history of arepas, how it came to be, while also the how to make them. In contrast to other two-page spreads I've seen that are, culinary, they don't have that historical aspect to them. They also have full images that dominate one side and all the text neatly organized on the other. My approach with the arepas is a bit different. Many spreads rely heavily on a single striking image to grab attention, often with the text all confined to one side of the layout. And although it kind of is organized, this technique creates a bold visual impact but can sometimes feel a bit disconnected from the content. I wanted my two-page spread to be as organized as possible and, have my audience, if this was like a real magazine to be played, have my audience be able to know what they're looking for and find it quick. Unlike some of these two-page spreads, they have so many words onto them. And it's just all over the place. Sometimes you can't even find what you're trying to look for because of the small writing on them. In my spread, I wanted to strike a balance between visuals and information, so by integrating images throughout the pages rather than sticking to one side, I am to create a more immersive experience. Readers can see the arepas in different stages and also read the instructions and historical content without having to flip back and forth, or try to find it and just be stuck there for a while. This layout feels more cohesive and allows for a more engaging storytelling experience, making the culinary journey of arepas even more inviting. Question 2 is, how does my product engage with audiences and how would it be distributed as a real media text? My culinary magazine would engage with audiences by being printed at a variety of stores such as Barnes & Nobles, which is a bookstore. It would also be available through subscriptions, so it's accessible to a wide range of audiences. With this being said, I also plan to establish an online presence through a dedicated website, which is why my magazine cover down below, I have a website, and also on my toothpaste bread, which is www.vanillaflavors.com. This is so my readers can interact with the content and access it in a digital format no matter where they are. This platform would allow interactive features like video tutorials and comment sections so readers can give feedback and share their thoughts and experiences. Not only this, but it would also offer easy navigation and access to articles and exclusive online features. For my social media apps, it would be used to promote new issues, share behind-the-scenes content, and engage with followers through live Q&A sessions or discussions on trending topics. I forgot to speak on this, but on my table of contents, it features social media apps such as Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and TikTok. This is so my readers can find out more about the magazine, and also this approach ensures that the magazine reaches a wider audience and keeps readers engaged across different platforms. Thank you for listening to part 1 of my CCR, and I hope to see you listen to my podcast, which would be part 2 of my CCR. So until next time.